Small towns are only for old age.
I want to highlight a few areas where I've been and what the state is like. But the people there, it feels like I've ended up in Zaporizhzhia.
In regular co-working spaces, you can interact with major companies.
They meet, they intersect somewhere.
In small towns, I personally am faster than the town itself.
I paid for the opportunity to meet good people. So, friends, I've lived in Warsaw for 6 months. Now it's the 7th month. It's time to once again summarize the interim results. We decided to film this video outside. We are currently at the Warsaw Brewery, Wola, Warsaw, Poland. Good evening. And specifically here, so you can see how people walk around, how everything happens, and I will answer all the questions. Watch this video until the end, and you will find out, firstly, how much more my expenses have increased in Warsaw. I will tell you what. The situation is, because in the last video, this was asked, and I will tell you which area is better to live in. Because I lived in the center in Wola, but I have also been in principle in all the districts of Warsaw. For those who haven't seen the previous video, when I had just moved to Warsaw, literally 2 to 4 weeks, I lived here. Here at the top, there will be a hint. I recorded a video. Watch the previous video, and let's watch today's. So, thesis number 1. If you want to speed up in life, then you need to go to Warsaw. Look, even one accelerator just went by. Because, have you noticed, people say that in different cities there's a different pace of life, right? In some city everyone is kind of relaxed, and in another city everyone is tense, fast, rushing somewhere. This happens partly because the pace of life is dictated by the people around you and even the traffic lights you walk through. For example, why do people in Warsaw often rush somewhere? Why do people in Warsaw cross traffic lights very quickly? I noticed this today. Firstly, the traffic lights, large intersections, there are many traffic lights, so you really need to run through 3 of them to make it in time. Secondly, the cost of a mistake. If you didn't make it to the traffic light, the tram which was taking you to an important meeting was right before it. So, you missed that meeting? Not just by 10 minutes, but it stretches to a 20-minute delay for the meeting, which is very painful. Therefore, Warsaw is a city where you will have to run because everyone is running, because you will need to be on time everywhere. And this is my conclusion number 1 after these 6 months of living here. Is it good or bad when people are in a hurry? Well, again, if you want to speed up, then coming to the city, you will speed up along with everyone else. Whether it's good or bad is for each to decide. I moved here from Krakow, where, I remind you, I lived for 9 years precisely for this acceleration, so for now, it suits me. Great. You've watched up to this point, which means you're really interested in business in Poland. Support us by liking this video, leaving comments, and subscribing to our channel. And if you are genuinely set on doing business in Poland, we can help you with that. Firstly, in the format of training, we have a great educational product for starting and running a business in Poland. Secondly, consultations. And thirdly, services, company registration, sole proprietorship, and setting up business processes. Below the video, you will find all the links, and let's continue watching the episode. Why did you choose Warsaw? What do you like here?
It's just such an active, very fast pace here, probably because of this. In smaller towns, it's like I'm personally faster than the town itself. But here, the pace of Warsaw is faster than me, and it kind of stimulates more development. Yes, my name is Katya.
So the next point is the cost of services. The cost of all services is higher. The cost of taking care of yourself, your teeth, your health. The cost of maintaining your car. All of this is more expensive. But this also gives you the understanding that you can sell similar services in the market at a higher price. Well, really, like getting wisdom teeth removed. Going out to a restaurant. Everything just seems to be about 30% more expensive, it seemed to me, compared to Krakow. Just keep that in mind. We will talk more about what to do with this later, but keep it in mind. An interesting observation regarding food and lunches in restaurants. Here, it's actually a bit cheaper than in smaller towns. Why is that? Because of the large flow of people, the restaurant can lower the price, reduce the average bill, and simply serve a larger number of people. For example, today we ate at a kind of milk bar. We ate borscht, soup, a cutlet, mashed potatoes, salad and compote for 25 zlotys. Probably you can find this in Krakow too, or in a small town. But there are many such places here. There is a location called Meat and Eats, where you can choose your food by the gram. And you can also have a hearty meal there, for 40 zlotys. It seemed to me that due to the flow, it's cheaper here in Warsaw. Relationships with people, they need to be built and you need to invest in them. Warsaw is a big city, so if you don't invest in relationships, they won't develop. How do people invest in these relationships? They meet, they cross paths. Somewhere, they go to events where they meet people they already know again. They ask questions. They take a proactive stance. Well, I'm describing myself here as well. They take a position where, and they genuinely take an interest in what is important to the person. They remember when their birthday is, they ask how they are doing. I don't know, again, whether it's good or bad, but in Krakow it was probably easier. It's a small city, everyone knows each other there. But here it feels like you really need to work on relationships with people. Invite them to some events or attend them yourself.
My name is Sasha. Good evening, everyone. I'm from Krakow, Warsaw. It's all about people, after all. The entire focus was on people, and this focus paid off. Warsaw is a city where you can truly meet people of any level, with any background, and discuss any topics. These are people who have mostly achieved some solid results. They mostly all gather in the capital. And Warsaw in this regard has a very strong consistency of these people, these personalities with whom it's pleasant to spend time and grow together. It's a location where you can work in offices with owners. In regular co-working spaces, you can run into owners of major Ukrainian, Belarusian, European and American companies. And just say, yo, hi, how's it going? They reply, all good. I'm having coffee and heading to a meeting now, then you go and see, and at his meeting. There are 40 people sitting there, and he's in shorts and a tank top right next to them. And he's like, this is cancelled, this is okay, and that vibe 100% energizes you, yes. And these people, we are basically among those people, and it's great that these people are here too, and we're having fun together. Well, plus, this city is definitely for the ambitious. I think that people who came here with some good ambitions, with goals, with plans, this city definitely helps as if pushing you towards those results. That's why I think Warsaw is definitely about people and definitely about community, a quality community.
Housing prices. It seemed to me, both my analysis and the fact that my friends who are now coming, housing prices have fallen. Housing prices have become a little bit lower. This is related to the fact that many of our Ukrainians are really moving further to Spain. This is related to politics and everything else. And it's related to the fact that it's currently the summer season, which means that students have left, and this means that overall prices are falling. I think that this year the average price in Warsaw will drop by 15%, at most 20%, but it will drop, and that's great news. If you were considering Warsaw for yourself, then please, welcome to the next observation after 6 months of living in Warsaw. There are many options here for personal, spiritual, psychological and business development. Well, we are currently in the Brewery district, and there is a conference service here, a location where many events are held, and it was funny to observe. I still live nearby, and it's funny to observe because I take my Polish exam in this conference service. The event where I am a speaker is in the same location. The event I attend to listen is in the same location. We attended a self-development training with Ala Klimenko, and it is located in the same place, and it's all in one place, very concentrated. And any day you can find something that can somehow develop you. In short, it won't be boring here. Unlike, again, small towns where, well, really, sometimes you had to think about where to go and who would even travel to Krakow or Wrocław. Now, again, this is also related to concerts. Yes, after all, the main concerts of big stars like Timberlake's, Beyonce, I don't know, whoever you listen to, they all tend to always head to the capitals of all countries. Next. Jobs and businesses, hundreds of options, a lot of work. It feels like in Warsaw you will never be without income. The question is, there might be difficulties in starting to earn 5 or 10 times more than what you earn now. But this is a problem in any city because you need to change your mindset first and foremost. Mindset, approaches, patterns, but you definitely won't be left without money here. Uber, deliveries, taxis, construction, if we're talking about work, any service staff. But if we're talking about business, then somehow, due to the large flow of people here, it's easier to start a business related to leasing. Something for rent, car rentals, leasing, some equipment, small service jobs, cleaning and everything else. It's like you can attach yourself to this big pie, latch on like a remora fish, and kind of everything will work, there will be some income and you'll be happy. An interesting observation is how the districts in Warsaw differ. I want to highlight a few districts that I have visited where the infrastructure is drastically different, and as it's trendy to say now, the vibe there. Let's start with Brovary. Brovary is actually in the Wola district. Wola is a district that is heavily mixed with new developments with such tall buildings. It's a modern business center in Warsaw where everyone hangs out and holds business meetings and establishes contacts, all events and conferences. Everything happens here. The most expensive real estate is here, but the best opportunities are also here. A brief description now, probably in this district, there on the level of Kuliewa Street. Here in Brovary, the average price for a one-room apartment, more or less decent, is 4,500 to 5,000 zlotys. That's the average price. And the next district is Mokotów, plus Wilanów. If you look at the map of Warsaw, there's the Palace of Culture, and down there are these two districts, Mokotów and Wilanów. And these are great residential areas. We go there for training, to do CrossFit. When you enter there, it's like you're entering a different Warsaw. Everything is low, buildings are, at most, 3 stories high. It's like you've arrived, I don't know, in some part of Germany or somewhere else. It's just a separate world, separate infrastructure. And accordingly, the average price for housing is also lower. But there's a nuance. The nuance is that you need to commute. Getting to the center took us 30 minutes by car. If you hit traffic, then, well, like an unknown sign, 40, 50 an hour. Yes, well, and if you take public transport, you have to account for that too. There. You might be traveling, considering waiting and everything else, 40, 50 minutes. Right here to the center, there are their own separate activities. Many people don't come to the center at all. In general, I've noticed that in Warsaw, people are divided into 2 types. Those who love freedom, yes, and those who hate it. Well, like, what are you doing there? What are you even doing here? What's happening here? Yes. So really, people are divided into 2 types. The next district is Praga Południe. It's actually Praga. It's everything on the other side of the river. I don't know. On the right or on the left, depending on which side you're looking from, basically it's everything on the other side of the river. And someone told me when I was looking for housing that there is great housing in Praga. It's comfortable there. But I don't know, I went there and it was uncomfortable. The average price is even lower than in Mokotów and Wilanów. But the crowd there, well, I felt like I was in Zaporizhzhia before. And kind of the average price for housing is appropriate. Getting there, by the way, is probably faster than from Wilanów and Mokotów. But in terms of comfort and safety, I didn't feel great. By the way, I have a link to my Instagram in my Instagram. In the description, I shared my impressions of Prague. So follow my Instagram to learn more about Poland, Warsaw, and business. About life in this country and the last district, if you look at the center, then go up there. This is Arcadia, Westfield, Arcadia. I actually noted it down. Yes, there's a shopping center there, around which there are cool buildings, and the price is a bit lower. And it's close to the center. Honestly, if I didn't live in Wola, I would most likely live there. Because it's a very nice district in terms of infrastructure. The price-quality ratio, I would say, because Wola, where we are now, has a whole history. It's understandable that it's a bit overheated, it will be more expensive. Next, friends mine, whether good or bad, people can be found everywhere, and personally, in my life here in Warsaw, I've only met good people. But I take into account that for the opportunity to meet so good people, I paid. And I paid in 2 ways. The first way is By physically renting accommodation in the right place. Yes. Where by meeting cool and interesting people. Someone from Ukraine came there and is engaged in some business. And some entrepreneur whom I would never have encountered in Ukraine in my life. I met them because, let's say, we are in different weight categories, but here in Brovary, I can meet him. I paid for this thing in a simple way. I just paid with money, that's the second way. I paid to not meet bad people, I paid with my state of being and my change in consciousness. Yes. And it even cost more than renting an apartment here, because changing your state, changing your thinking, your beliefs, it's more expensive and more painful than just paying for a better location. One of the subscribers in the previous video, there will be a comment somewhere here now. He asked me, to explain what a state is. We have constantly started talking about state, having the right state. So guys, a state is your way. And the emotions, how you feel, it's the way you think, it's the emotions you're experiencing right now. It's the state in your body that you have right now. And if we talk about the right state, that's what we mean. The right state is a great state in the body, lots of energy. Nothing hurts. Yes, it's a great mental state, a mental emotional state. You don't have anxiety, you don't have any apathy, you're not nervous, you're not irritated. And thirdly, it's probably your some kind of spiritual component. For everyone, it's different things, contributes. Someone calls spirituality communication with family, with their kin. Someone calls spirituality going to church on Sundays. But this is some kind of third spiritual component, in short, guys. Perhaps this will be useful to someone. Yes, this thesis does not concern Poland, but write in the comments if you found the conclusions useful. Namaste. Let's summarize the results of 6 months. I have lived here. I will tell you what has changed, increased, decreased, and so on. First of all, spending. I promised to tell you how much I spent. Here in Warsaw, I started spending about twice as much as in Krakow. Well, that is, roughly speaking, if I spent 5,000 zlotys in Krakow, then in Warsaw I started spending 10,000 zlotys. If you, in your city, in some small town, yes, spend 1,000 zlotys, which I don't know how, where you can spend them, then in Warsaw expect it to be most likely 20. So, where's my microphone? A quick question to this young lady. Hello. We have a question for you. Do you like living in Warsaw? Just a quick question.
Very much.
What do you like about Warsaw? Why did you choose Warsaw, and what do you like here?
I like that it's a very big city, the capital. Everyone is developing, rushing somewhere, running. I didn't like it before, but now I realize it's an integral part of young people.
And if you were living in some small town, now then, would you feel, compared to Warsaw, some kind of sadness? Would it be sad, depressing, like people? I feel it would be such, somehow.
Calm, music.
In a word, stagnation. Stagnation is a bummer? Yes, some kind of stagnation is a bummer, thank you.
Small towns are only for old age or for family couples. But for young, ambitious people, only the capitals.
Yes, cool. Now in the comments, people will discuss this thesis about small towns being for the elderly, so friends like subscribe to the channel and spend like that. I spent twice as much in Warsaw as I did in Krakow. And most likely you will also spend more. Maybe not twice as much, but in any case you will spend more. Is this good or bad? It's good because you are increasing your financial thermostat. Yes, you are expanding your mind, your opportunities, and your wallet. And most likely you will earn more. My friends, you will earn more because I have never seen a person who moved to New York and started spending, let's say, 10 times more in New York, but only earning twice as much as they did in Kiev or Warsaw. So these things are interconnected. That's how the economy works. But the fact remains, but there's a nuance. I started spending twice as much, but the emotions, the impressions, I'm going to reread it now. Yes, there. Emotions, impressions, opportunities. I started receiving 4 times more inspiration. So you spend twice as much, but you get 4 times more. Whether it's beneficial or not, everyone decides for themselves. The second thesis is being in the right place at the right time. Sometimes you physically need to leave the house. Sometimes you physically need to be at the right event or something in your life to start changing. And Warsaw is a great way to do that. And no matter what anyone tells me, that there, it doesn't matter which city you're in, you can create a business from anywhere on the planet, you can start an online business. But still, most businesses are built on partnerships, on certain relationships. You find either a client, a partner, or an investor. And Warsaw is a great place to do that. And thirdly, the best investment is an investment in yourself. I felt this in Warsaw because, well, for example, I currently can't afford to buy even a one-room apartment in Warsaw with cash. Just to come and buy an apartment on the outskirts for 150,000 euros alone. I also don't want to take one. If you're interested, I can tell you why. And well, where to invest? What is the right way to save and grow the money we earn and somehow manage to set aside? I realized that the best investment is in yourself, and of course it sounds cliche, but I'll try to explain. That state, you already know what it is, or the opportunities that arise when your mind changes, when your environment also changes. It's the opportunity. To multiply within a year, like just x10 or x100, you won't find that anywhere else. Such an investment that can give such returns, like investing in yourself, Warsaw, allowed me to reveal this from a different perspective, in different colors. In these 6 months, I have invested in myself more than probably in my entire life, so I know what I'm talking about. Subscribe to the channel, follow my Instagram below in the description. If you need help starting your business development, registering a company, as an individual entrepreneur, managing accounting, assisting with tax optimization, with consultations, you will find all the links and contacts below the video. Hits!